friends, let's start discussing circular motion in greater details now. So we define circular motion. We have already defined it as the motion of a particle moving along the circumference of the circle. So you can see here the buckets on the periphery, they are performing circular motion in this particular case. So when do we say that the circular motion is uniform? When it moves with constant tangential speed. So one needs to understand, I have used the word speed and not the velocity. That means only the magnitude of the velocity at every point along the periphery or the circumference will remain constant. When it comes to direction, friends, the direction will keep on changing. You can see only the magnitude is constant, right? And the velocity, you can see if I want the direction of velocity at this point, I'll have to draw a tangent. Similarly, if I want to find the direction of velocity here, I would draw a tangent. That means the direction keeps on changing, and therefore I'm not using the word velocity, just using the word speed to define uniform circular motion. This is something which we have defined earlier also, friends. Okay. So here is a case of uniform circular motion where the particle moves along the circumference of the circle with constant linear speed. Now always one thing is to be remembered. So if I talk about this point for the circular motion, I draw a tangent to this point, I get the direction of velocity over here. But apart from that, the velocity keeps on changing, you can see, in terms of direction. And we all know change in velocity is per unit time is nothing but acceleration. And for circular motion to be performed, there has to be tangential acceleration as well as there has to be some acceleration which is directed along the radius towards the center. You can see this arrow. Such acceleration which is directed along the radius towards the center would be considered as centripetal acceleration. Please make a note of this slide and let me know so that we move ahead, we proceed ahead for this concept. So what I mean to say is, for circular motion, friends, centripetal acceleration is necessary. Without centripetal acceleration, circular motion is difficult. You see, if centripetal acceleration becomes zero, that means the object will straight away fly off tangentially. This object is bound to the circle because of this acceleration. Let's proceed further. Okay. That means if there is some acceleration which is directed towards the center, that means there has to be some force which is holding this motion, and it has to be directed towards the center. We call force as centripetal force. So here also in this circular motion, you can see because of the centripetal force which is directed towards the center, this circular motion is possible. You can quickly make a note of this picture. So this is how it becomes easier for you to analyze concepts like centripetal acceleration or centripetal force, friends. Hopefully you have noted this down. Please put it in the chat section. Yeah. Good. Let's move ahead then. Okay, what would be the equation for this centripetal force? So the equation for centripetal force would be mvt square by r, where m stands for the mass of the particle which is performing circular motion. V stands for the speed, tangential speed you can say, and r stands for the radius. And this is the force that must be applied to produce circular motion. Without this force, circular motion is not possible. Please make a note of it before we proceed further. Once you are done with it, put it in the chat section. So most of you say done. So let's proceed further then. Here, this diagram makes it more clear. You can see in this diagram, you can see the direction of the tangential speed or velocity, and you can also see the direction in which the centripetal acceleration or force is working. If imagine if this force was not there, was it possible for this object to perform circular motion? The answer is no. Okay, so please make a note of this. Again, it's a self-explanatory slide which explains you the concept of centripetal force, which is needed for circular motion. So most of you say done. Good. Fine. Let's move ahead then. Let's proceed. So here we can consider the centripetal force as the tension in the string. So who is providing the centripetal force for this case? The tension in the string, which is held with this hand basically. All right, let's proceed further then. There are other types of circular motion also. We need to know who is providing centripetal force. Please make a note of this. In this case, when a stone tied to a string is whirled in circles, then the tension provides the centripetal force. So similarly, we can talk about the other type of examples for circular motion and try to depict which forces provide centripetal forces over there. Please make a note of this. So hopefully done. So most of you say yes. Let's proceed further then, friends. Now let's talk about another example where you can see the planets moving around the sun. Obviously, they are also performing circular motion. So they also require some centripetal force. Now, who provides the centripetal force in such case? So the gravitational pull between the planet and the sun will provide the necessary centripetal force for such kind of circular motion. Please make a note of this slide also quickly so that we proceed further. So for different types of circular motion, examples of circular motion, we need to depict which are the forces which actually provide the centripetal force basically. Okay, great. Now let's proceed further. Let's move ahead, friends. Always remember there are two types of forces which will be acting: centripetal and centrifugal. Now when I am saying centripetal, centripetal force is directed towards the center, whereas centrifugal force will be directed away from the center. You can please make a note of it. We will discuss centrifugal force in greater details in the later stages. Yeah, hopefully things are noted down. Okay, let's proceed further then. So reaction to centripetal force is centrifugal force. Centripetal force is a real force, whereas centrifugal force is not a real force. So it comes under the category of pseudo forces. Always remember that. Okay. So this is something which you can always note it down in later stages, or you can note it down. It's not a real force. Centripetal force is a real force, whereas centrifugal force is not a real force. Remember that. So what is centrifugal force then? So centrifugal force is a force basically which is the reaction force to the centripetal force. All right. So you can see how is centrifugal force directed away from the center. Please make a note of it and put it in the chat section so that we proceed further. Okay, friends. So most of you say done.
Sir,
Yes.
what examples we can take for the centrifugal force?
Centrifugal force, there are many examples like washing machine or giant wheel. I will show you some examples in the subsequent slides. Don't worry. Okay. We'll talk
Okay.
about centrifugal force. Don't worry. So that time, centrifugal force would become more clearer to you. Okay. Let's proceed then. This is something which we have discussed earlier. Just give me a moment where I share another slide with you people. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah. Let me talk about centripetal force first. Okay. So here you can see in this particular motion, the direction of inertia is tangential and centripetal force is directed towards the center. So let's define centripetal force first of all properly. So for us, in uniform circular motion, the force which will act along the radius towards the center, we will call it as centripetal force. And the equation for this basically you can consider, and we all know one thing very clearly, that centripetal force is necessary for uniform circular motion. Why? Just imagine a case if this force vanishes, it becomes zero. Obviously, what will happen to all these bodies over here? They will fly off tangentially. So there won't be any circular motion then in that case. And the equation for it along the radius towards the center, therefore, you can just put it as mass, centripetal force is mass into centripetal acceleration, and we will derive centripetal acceleration in the subsequent stages in the next lectures as v square by r or r omega square, where v stands for linear velocity and omega stands for angular velocity. We have already defined angular velocity in the previous session if you remember. So this is how you place centripetal force, and it is due to known interactions. Always you will find centripetal force is being provided either by the tension in the string or with the help of friction or with the help of gravitational interaction or electromagnetic interaction, and therefore you can consider this force to be provided by a known interaction, and centripetal force therefore comes under the category of real force. Please make a note of this slide quickly. Yeah, friends. Okay, good. Very nice. Most of you say done. These are the examples of centripetal force. You can see a satellite moving along the circular orbit around the Earth. You can see. So, who's providing the centripetal force for a satellite which is moving along the circumference, circular circumference? You can say circular orbits around the Earth. So, the gravitational force of attraction between the satellite and the Earth provides the necessary centripetal force here. Another example, you can just have a look at it. An object tied to a string is revolved uniformly in a horizontal circle. So this is the example which we have seen. So here the tension in the string will provide the necessary centripetal force. So these are some examples of centripetal force being provided for circular motion. Please make a note of it and put it in the chat section so that we proceed further. Okay, friends. So let's proceed further then. Just a minute. We need to discuss second type of force, and that is centrifugal force. All right. So just give me a moment. Yeah. So here specifically somebody was asking me a question where centrifugal force is applied. So you can see in such kind of motion, these kids are being thrown away from the circle, center of the circle. And this is the best example of centrifugal force. The value of centrifugal force will be same as that of centripetal force because just the directions are opposite, you can see. Therefore, this value is also given as mv square by r. So how we define centrifugal force then? So it's a pseudo force, Now, why pseudo force? Nobody knows which interaction provides it, but it is being experienced. You might have enjoyed such rides, friends, and you might have felt that somebody is pushing you outwards for such motion. That's because of this pseudo force, centrifugal force, directed along the radius away from the center, unlike centrifugal force and unlike centripetal force. Okay. Because it does not arise due to known interactions, we know real interactions. Okay, which are the real interactions which we know? Gravitational, electromagnetic, and nuclear. All right. So none of these interactions provide these forces, but they act, and they act in non-inertial or acceleration frame of reference, basically. Therefore, such forces are called as pseudo force. It's directed along the radius away from the center. You can consider centrifugal force having same magnitude as that of centripetal force, but direction is opposite to that of centripetal force. Please make a note of it, friends, before we go for a comparative along with few more examples on centrifugal force. So most of you say done. So let's proceed then. We can just sort out few more examples for centrifugal force. Let's have a look at it. So if you keep a coin on a gramophone disc and the gramophone disc performs circular motion, you will find that this coin, it flies off tangentially. Similarly, a body is moving, object is moving along a horizontal curve, you will feel a push outwards due to centrifugal force. So these are certain things, which you should realize as an example for centrifugal force. Please make a note of it.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, what is the use of gramophone?
Gramophone is a musical instrument. Earlier there were no tapes, right? There were gramophone discs.
Okay,
So
okay.
this is just being shown to demonstrate the example of centrifugal force, that they move in circle. This coin will slip because of the centrifugal force. Are you getting it? This is just an example.
Yes, yes, I understood.
Yeah. So hopefully things are pretty clear till here so far as centrifugal force is concerned. We have a good understanding regarding centrifugal force. So let's now distinguish between the two types of forces which act in circular motion, specifically uniform circular motion, and these two forces are centripetal force and centrifugal force. So let's put the first point forward for centripetal force. It says centripetal force is directed along the radius towards the center of the road, away from the center of the circle. Okay, it should not be away, towards the center of the road, away from the center of the circle. You can remove this. Okay, towards the center of the circle is correct. Centrifugal force is directed along the radius away from the center of the circle. Till here it's okay. All right, friends. Second point of distinction can be, here it is towards, here it is away. That's the major distinction between centripetal force and centrifugal force. Yeah. Then, moreover, centripetal force is a real force because it is produced by known interactions, and centrifugal force is a pseudo force because it is not produced by known interaction. It comes under the concept of non-inertial frame of reference. You can see that's again, these two words are important. Okay, one is a real force, other is a pseudo force, friends. Yeah. Centripetal force, it will arise in both inertial as well as non-inertial frame, but Specifically, centrifugal force will always arise in non-inertial or accelerated frame of reference. Again, that's important point of difference. Okay, here both frames are possible. Here only non-inertial. Important points of distinction. Okay, centripetal force is the cause for circular motion. You can see this force is the cause. If this is not there, there won't be any circular motion. Whereas centrifugal force is the effect. It is produced because of circular motion. So one is cause and other is effect. So you need to understand this difference. Yeah, friends. So all those who have entered late, today's session was at 2:30. If you all remember, you considered it as 3 o'clock. So please don't worry. Sooner I will be posting these lectures on the channel. Don't worry, and I'll give you the links. So next point of difference, you can see. Yeah, please make a note of it. Yeah, Akansha, you raised your hand. Please let me know what exactly the problem is. Akansha, you have any doubt?